Hello and welcome to the channel, YouTube world. Patch notes came out yesterday, but guess what? When the update came out, I didn't see any patch notes for several hours. But anyways, better late than never, I suppose. So it's Wolcen, and I'm going to have a link down in the description if you want to read these at your own leisure. General. Added jeweler inventory interaction. You can now equip an item directly from the jeweler panel. Added jeweler inventory interaction. Improved right-click and left-click handling in the jeweler panel slots. Added jeweler inventory interaction. You can now move an item directly from one panel to another. About fucking time. Being disconnected from the game for inactivity will now move your jeweler items in your inventory instead of deleting them. Yeah, for real. Or were they being deleted? Or were they going in the jeweler's pocket, huh? Exactly. Fate Adjunctrix Zetgist will no longer be visible to players who joined a group after she appeared. Fixed an issue in Chapter 2 preventing players to complete the step Reach Helmshire. User interface. Fixed a bug causing the max player health to display an incorrect value after leaving the aspect of Apocalypse. Fixed a bug leading the right click of an item in the inventory to be considered as a left click. So basically, this whole mouse crap, they've been dyslexic because every time I left click or right click, it feels like it keeps swapping around. It's really annoying. Icons from skill buffs are now correctly displayed on the left side of the screen. What's wrong with them being on the right side of the screen? Technical. Enhanced save pipeline for cosmetic data. Fixed a weird ragdoll effect when killing some enemies. Fixed server crashes. Fixed an issue causing players to have balloons instead of heads when playing the game on Proton. You got a balloon head. Anyways. Gameplay. The rage gains from being hit do not trigger on taking damage over time anymore. This issue led to scenarios where your willpower and rage could end up locked with an infinite transfer. Fixed a bug that made bonuses from stacking mechanics on the aspects of Apocalypse way more powerful than they should have been. Should have been, not of. Gate of Fates fixed a bug leading the damage taken from the Dire Juncture passive node to apply knockback effects a second time. Active skills. Annihilation. Increased damage gained with levels, plus 20% at max level. Anvil's Woe, the damage bonus granted to your weapon for this skill is increased from 210 to 230. 210 to 230, right? To 240 to 240. Crater Maker. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 25 to 30%. Stormbound, the damage bound. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 25 to 30%. Radical Shake cooldown decreased from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. That's not really a radical change. Voltaic Arc, whatever. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 50 to 60%. Arctic Spear, increased damage gained with levels, plus 48% at max levels. Consuming Ember, increased damage gained with levels, plus 32% at max levels. Evasion. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this skill is increased from 100 to 120%. Reduced rage cost for the skill from 100 to 90, so you don't have to be as angry. Increased damage gained with levels, 33% at max level. Slayer's Flurry, the damage bonus granted by your weapon for this skill, is increased from 60 to 70%. Kindly stopped for me. Chance to spawn a ghost increased from 3 to 5%. Super Dense Metal. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 6% to 8%. Cosmic Ambush. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 10% to 15%. Effortless Sleight. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 6% to 8%. Strings of Crayon, whatever. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this skill is increased from 75 to 90%. Storm's Pass, chance to spawn a ghost increased from 5 to 15%. Flying Death. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 10% to 15%. Whitefield Arrowheads. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 10 to 15%. Focus Shot. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 35 to 45%. Thunder Strike. Increased damage gained with levels, plus 40% at max level. Wrath of Bapep, whatever. I'm not even going to bother. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this skill is increased from 160 to 175% to 180 to 180. Not it ends. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 35 to 50%. Lumbering Blow. The damage bonus granted by your weapon for this modifier is increased from 50 to 100%. Items. Fixed an item duplication caused by stackable item manipulations in the trading window. I know nothing about that. Fixed a bug causing stackable items to display an invalid quantity in the trading window. Endgame. Fixed an error making it impossible to use legendary items in the upgrade quality project instead of upgrade rarity project of the Dark Market. Fixed a bug causing Reverie Incense Expedition to not work in multiplayer. Fixed a bug preventing players to finish an expedition when a group member exits the game after entering the dungeon. Fixed a bug preventing an expedition to be completed if the party leader exits the game at the end of the expedition. So if you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down, and I'll make sure I invade your game. I do this to your character.
Ruthless Kevin Owens is still in this. Midsection. Oh, with a DDT.
And I take all your loot. I'm just saying. Once you wake up and you come to your senses, if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally that would be great. And if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, boys and girls, or whatever it is you identify as. And I shall see you all in the next video. Bye now.